Today we're attempting one of the craziest Minecraft mansions I have ever seen. This thing is called the Diamond Mansion. As you can tell from the name, we were inspired by a diamond from the game. And honestly, it looks less like a house and more like something a Minecraft billionaire would live in. It's got gigantic diamond frames, huge glass walls, multiple floors, and enough diamonds to bankrupt an entire survival server. The problem: we only had 4 hours. Not 4 days, not 4 gaming sessions. 4 hours. So today we're going to see just how much of this mansion we can actually build before time runs out. So before we started building, we took a proper look at the blueprint. At first I thought, okay, this doesn't look too bad. But then I started zooming in and zooming in and zooming in. And suddenly I realised there's way more details than I originally thought. The roof alone looks like somebody spent 3 business days placing diamond blocks. There are support beams everywhere, glass sections everywhere, and decorations everywhere. But do you want to know what's worse? We found something even worse than that. Everything is symmetrical, which means if I mess up on one side, I have to fix every single side. Fantastic. Now, every giant build starts the same way, with an empty patch of land and a lot of confidence. Confidence that usually disappears after about 10 minutes. The foundation for this mansion is a giant octagon. Sounds easy? It wasn't. The hardest part wasn't placing the blocks. The hardest part was making sure that every side matched up perfectly. Because if the foundation is wrong, everything above it becomes wrong too. And trust me, rebuilding an entire mansion because you misplaced a few blocks is not something I wanted to experience today. Not when we're working on a time frame that is so limited. So this is usually the stage where the people watching think building is easy. You're probably sitting there right now saying, just place the blocks. And honestly, I thought the same thing until I realised I'd measured one section incorrectly. So before we'd even started the walls, we were already fixing mistakes, which is a great sign for the rest of the build, is it not? Once the outline was finally finished, it was time to actually start building upwards. That's where things started to get exciting for us. The moment walls started appearing, the project stops feeling like a plan and starts to feel like an actual build. The original design used a lot of quartz and diamond blocks to create that gemstone look. We tried to stay as close as possible to the design, whilst also keeping one eye on the clock. Ticking. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Time's running out. Faster than we thought. Every minute spent adding details was a minute we weren't spending finishing the structure, after all. At this point, we checked the timer, and I'll be quite honest with you, we were already quite far behind. Not by too much, but enough to make me slightly nervous. The mansion was starting to take shape, but there was still an insane amount of work left for this build to work. This is where the panic sets in truly. Now, personally, I'm glad the first floor starts to look more complete. It's where the build starts to feel huge. Sometimes, when you're building something massive, it doesn't feel big until you're actually standing inside of it. And walking around this thing made me realise just how ridiculous this mansion was going to be if we could pull it off. With floor number 2, we tried to keep it as simple as possible. It sounds easy, right? Except every floor is meant to match this octagon shape. Every corner, every wall, every support, everything. One misplaced section could throw off the entire design. Progress slowed down so much here because we were constantly double checking our measurements and second guessing whether we had done it right. Looking at the clock, we don't have a lot of time left. We need to start working fast. We also decided we needed to start making loads of changes. Not really because we wanted to, but more because we had to. The original blueprint is more incredible than I could ever visualise. But it's also designed without a 4-hour deadline hanging over your head. So some areas are simplified, some decorations are postponed, and some details are being saved for later. The moment I had been waiting for all along was the diamond frame. This is a feature that makes the entire mansion stand out the most. Without it, if you think about it, it's just another fancy house. However, with it, it becomes this giant gemstone that you visualise. The second those angled supports start connecting together, everything changes. Suddenly the mansion looks exactly the way you visualise it. I mean, it's not the same as what we were working on from the blueprint. However, it is still how I visualised it in a way. Just remember, there's one huge part of this mansion that we haven't even touched yet. I say that, we haven't even thought about touching it yet. The interior, right now, is completely empty, which might not sound important, but trust me, I've got plans. This is where the timer starts to become a real problem. We're getting closer and closer and even closer to that deadline. There's still roofing left. There's still detailing left. There's still polishing left. At this point, every decision became, does this look cool enough to justify the time? Or have we just wasted all of this time for nothing? Whilst we're working on this build, I want to take a minute to talk about something a little more important than Minecraft. One thing I've always wanted this channel to be is more than just videos. I want it to be a place where people can relax, have a laugh, and forget about whatever stress they've got going on for just a little while. I know from experience that life isn't always easy. Sometimes you're having a great day, and sometimes you're carrying things on your shoulders that nobody else can see. School, work, family problems, loneliness, anxiety, stress, whatever it might be. And if that's something you're dealing with right now, I just want you to know that you don't always have to sit with it on your own. That's actually one of the reasons I started my YouTube channel, and why I've started the Discord server too. We're there to talk about Minecraft, yes, share builds and have fun, but it's also become a really supportive community. People chat, joke around and share what they're working on, and honestly just help each other get through the tough days. We have a mental health chat in there, specifically for if you need to talk. I'm not saying it's a replacement for professional help if you need it, because it isn't. But sometimes having a group of people to talk to, laugh with, and just be around can make a bigger difference than you realise. If you've been watching the videos for a while and you've never joined the Discord, this is your formal invitation. Whether you want to show off your latest build, make some new friends, or just hang out with people who enjoy the same things you do, we'd love to have you there. Everyone is welcome. The link will be down in the pinned comment. If you do join, come say hi. I genuinely love to see you there. Alright, enough of me being serious. Let's get back to finish this before we do completely run out of time. People think these builds are extremely easy, and I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but I was exactly like you two until I started this. And trust me when I say we were so wrong. My opinions completely changed after this build. This has had my brain in such a jumble. I never thought I would sit there for hours and hours on end, realizing how difficult something really was. When you visualize something, push your hardest, no matter what it is, in a game or in real life. Push your hardest, and maybe dreams can come true. This is not what I pictured it to be, but it is absolutely amazing. Compared to what I believed I could do, this has just proved that if I put my mind to it, and if I had a bit more than 4 hours, I could make something extravagant. The roof might actually be my favourite part of the entire build, because this is where the mansion finally starts to transform more into a diamond. Before the roof, yeah, it looks impressive, but after the roof, it looks iconic. The layered design slowly closes in towards the top, creating that gemstone shape. However, as you will probably see, we may have messed this up just a little bit. We're just about starting to hit our deadline now. 4 hours. Feels like 4 minutes. But here it is. 4 hours worth of building. Hundreds, maybe even thousands of blocks. Countless adjustments. And somehow we've sort of pulled it off. Okay, maybe not perfectly, but close enough that I will be calling this a success. Now, here's the thing. This mansion looks amazing from the outside. But if I open the front door right now... Oh wait, there is no front door. Exactly. There's basically nothing inside. No luxury rooms. No storage systems. No secret vault. No grand staircase. Absolutely nothing. And honestly, that is why the next one is going to be even better. Because we're going to transform this empty shell into a mansion worthy of the exterior. We will try to include custom rooms, hidden features, massive decorations, and maybe even a few surprises for you all. So if you want to see this diamond-inspired mansion fully completed, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And whilst you're down there, comment one room that absolutely has to be included in this exterior. In this interior, sorry. I'll be reading every single suggestion, and I will take notes. I will listen. I'll see you in the next one, guys.